Welcome to this webinar on audit sampling, where we'll be looking at the principles, methods and best practice involved in audit sampling. My name is Richard Hemmings and I'll be taking you through this webinar. My background is in audit firms and technical roles of varying kind of sizes, and now my work is mainly working with small and medium-sized accountancy practices, helping them with their audit methodology and audit approach. So that's what brings me to be presenting this webinar today. So in this webinar, we will be having a look at, first of all, what is, and importantly, what is not sampling. We'll then have a look at when sampling is the right approach to a particular area of the audit. We'll then think a little bit about sample sizes and how big or small might they need to be. And once we've decided the sample size, how do we go about picking the individual items in a sample and the different methods we have to choose from in doing that. And then we will finish off with looking at some of the common issues that arise from sampling procedures and how to avoid those pitfalls in practice. So let's start off with what is and what is not sampling. And I'm going to start this by looking at a common misconception in practice. A lot of the accountants and auditors that I work with tend to use the word sample quite loosely in practice, and they use it simply to describe the items being tested. And that's not quite right. A sample is a much more specific and precise sort of term than just to describe those items we are testing. And that's the kind of misconception that I want to unpack first of all on this webinar. So, what is sampling? So sampling is the application of audit procedures to less than 100% of the items within a population. And what we need to do within that is make sure that all the sampling units have an equal chance of actually being picked in order to provide a reasonable basis so that the auditor can then draw conclusions about the population as a whole. So that's quite a wordy definition that you get from ISA 530, which deals with sampling. But the key things to take from that definition are, first of all, each item needs to have a chance of being picked within the sample. So every item in that population needs to at least stand a chance of being picked. Items need to be chosen systematically or at random. They need to be chosen without any input or sort of judgment on behalf of the auditor. And where this is achieved, the sample is then representative of the population. And that's the key bit there that allows any conclusions that we draw upon the sample we've actually looked at, we can then project or extrapolate those conclusions over the population as a whole. So with that definition and hopefully unpacking the misconceptions of what sampling isn't in mind, let's have a look at a couple of common questions.